Some voices are made to echo across stadiums, others are forged in pain, fire, and rebellion. Metal Singer is not just a book about music, or a passionate romance on tour, it's about finding your voice. When the world wants you silent, about screaming into the void. When love feels like the loudest song you've ever heard. This book slams open like the first crashing chord of a heavy metal anthem and pulls you into a world of thunderous sound, backstage secrets, and a heart that refuses to break quietly. For those who crave heat, heartbreak, and heroes who carry guitars instead of swords, this story will feel like coming home to chaos and love at the same time. At the center of this raw, electric storm is Lyric Graves, a woman with a voice that could melt the coldest soul and eyes that hide more than they show. She's not just a singer. She's a survivor, and music is the only thing that ever gave her life meaning. After years of clawing her way through the underground scene, she finally lands a dream gig as the new lead singer for Ashes Rain, one of the biggest metal bands on the planet. But this dream is laced with risk, because stepping into the spotlight means facing the demons that have chased her from the shadows her whole life. Lyric is no stranger to struggle. Raised in a home where silence was safer than speaking and emotions were punished, not expressed, she learned early how to build armor out of attitude and piercings. Her past is a battlefield of broken relationships and bad decisions. But music was always her escape. She poured her rage and sorrow into lyrics that cut like knives and screamed her way through bars and basements until someone finally noticed. That someone was Declan Cross, the lead guitarist of Ashes Rain, a man as infamous for his brutal solos as his stone-cold stare. When the band lost their frontman in a blaze of scandal, Declan took a chance on Lyric, not because she was safe, but because she was real and raw and dangerous. From the first rehearsal, sparks fly between them, but not the sweet kind. Declan and Lyric clash like thunder and fire. He's disciplined and detached, she's wild and impulsive. He wants control, she wants to burn everything down. But beneath their bickering lies a dangerous chemistry that neither of them can deny. As they hit the road on a worldwide tour, the tension between them builds with every city, every stage, every late night in close quarters. Their arguments become foreplay, their shared love for music, the only language they both speak fluently. The question isn't if they'll fall into each other, but how hard and how fast. But this isn't just a rock romance full of steamy backstage kisses and stolen glances under stage lights. Metal Singer digs deeper into the personal wars that rage behind the music. Lyric battles anxiety, trauma, and the constant fear of losing herself in a world that demands she'll become something she's not. The band's fans are divided between worshiping her and tearing her apart online. The music industry doesn't know what to do with a woman who refuses to soften herself to fit the mold. Every day is a test of her strength, not just as a performer, but as a person, trying to reclaim her own story. Declan too has his demons. Behind his tattoos and icy exterior is a man haunted by betrayal and loss. His last serious relationship ended in a tabloid-fueled disaster that almost destroyed the band. He doesn't trust easily, and certainly not someone like Lyric who makes him feel things. He's spent years burying under guitar strings and walls. But Lyric doesn't play by anyone's rules, and she doesn't let Declan hide. As their connection deepens, it becomes clear that their bond is more than lust, more than music, it's survival. The heart of the novel beats in the performances themselves. Every concert scene is written with explosive detail. The roar of the crowd, the pulse of the bass, the sweat, the screaming, the electric moment before the first note hit. Lyric owns the stage like she was born for it. But every performance takes something from her. She's pouring herself out night after night, and the pressure starts to crack even the strongest parts of her. Declan watches helplessly as she spirals toward something dark and dangerous pulled between the woman she was and the star she's becoming. Things take a darker turn when secrets from Lyric's past begin to surface. An ex resurfaces with malicious intent, threatening to expose truths Lyric has tried desperately to bury. A stalker begins leaving messages backstage, whispering lyrics only Lyric would know, and hinting at events from years ago that she thought no one remembered. The line between paranoia and reality begins to blur, and Lyric finds herself isolated, even among her band. Declan tries to protect her, but Lyric has never trusted ease, and she's terrified of becoming someone else's burden. But Declan refuses to let her drown. In one of the most emotional moments of the book, he strips himself bare, emotionally telling her the truth about his own pain and how he found purpose through music. He doesn't ask her to be perfect, he just asks her to stay. It's in that quiet plea that Lyric finds her strength, not from running, but from staying still, long enough to face what she's been running from. She doesn't just sing for survival anymore. She sings to reclaim herself, to scream into the world that she's still here and she's not going anywhere. As the tour nears its end, so does the pressure. The stalker becomes bolder, and the threat escalates to violence. A near tragedy forces Lyric and the band to cancel the final shows, throwing everything into chaos. Lyric has a choice: walk away from everything she's built to stay safe, or face her fear head on and finish the tour on her own terms. And Lyric Graves has never been the type to bow out quietly. In a final show that shakes the industry, Lyric takes the stage. One last time, not as a replacement, not as a broken girl hiding behind lyrics, but as a force of nature. She belts out every note like it's her last, every lyric a battle cry. Declan watches from the side, his heart in his throat, knowing that no matter what happens next, this moment is theirs, and it's real. The fans chant her name, not as a controversy, but as a queen of sound and soul. The book ends not with a perfect fairy tale, but with something better: honesty. Lyric and Declan don't promise forever, but they promise today, and the courage to keep choosing each other. The stalker is caught, the band takes a break to recover, and Lyric releases a solo track that goes viral, not because of scandal, but because it's raw, unfiltered truth. It's a promise to every girl who's been silenced, every soul that's ever screamed alone in the dark. Metal Singer is not just a love story, it's a survival story, a rebellion, an anthem. It's for the misfits, the scarred, the singers who were told they were too loud, too angry, too different. It's about pain and healing, love and chaos, and how sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is take the stage and scream your truth until the world listens. Whether you're a fan of romance, rock, or redemption, this audiobook will hook you hard and echo in your soul long after the last word. This is not a story that plays softly, it roars, and you're going to want to turn the volume all the way up.